Hello.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Naima. This is my sign name. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a pre licensed therapist, CEO, founder of Deaf Mental Health Hub. My visual description is I have a black sweater, kind of wrapped over my elbows. I have squiggly black earrings, or squiggly silver earrings with black glasses. My hair is in a ponytail. I have a cream colored black wall, um, pink chair, and a table to my left.
Okay. My name is Joycey. Right. Sign name is Joyce. See, I'm a full-time artist. I am deaf, Latina, Puerto Rican, and my background is a painting. It's purple with hearts, and the rest of the background is just my art studio. I have hoop earrings and my hair is back in a clip with a striped shirt that's black, pink, yellow, and blue.
Beautiful. Perfect. Um, I want to say thank you, everyone who's attended into the series on the Community Care in Action, people who contributed or contributed voiceovers, interpretation, guest speakers. It really shows um, how much that there is a need for communication, kind of having these community-wide discussions on various topics that reflect our modern day lives. Everyone has different life experiences, different journeys. There's different resources, tools, tips on how to navigate during heavy times, especially times that we live in now. The political climate,
Mhm.
ICE, Epstein files being released, continuous just scrolling and media, social media platforms. It affects our day-to-day lives. So to be able to take a beat and kind of hear out everyone's differences and what people have to offer. That's the purpose of community care and action. And individuals have a free choice or free will to choose what you want to consume, what you choose to view as beneficial or not beneficial. The choice is yours, as long as everyone is respectful and is able to bring their own reason, their own why, and possibly those things that you share can impact someone and make a benefit at the end of the day. That's about it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna hand it over to you, Joyce. Joycey, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I decided I want to show and share everybody is what is called an emotional wheel. Um, it's a wheel that is it helps with emotion because I believe that art heals and it heals within, and I feel like you know with me being deaf, hard of hearing, um growing up, I had a hard time, with communicating. Nobody knew, ASL. So I always drew, I always painted, and it helped me. So I wanted to show people how art can heal by showing an emotional wheel. So with an emotional wheel, it helps individual identify and articulate and process feelings. It increases emotional intelligence and aids in regulations and helps identify triggers. So with the emotional wheel I have six emotions, which is a wheel with six triangles right here. It doesn't have to be it has to be perfect or anything. So like for example, I have here happy, sun and heart because when I'm happy, I like the sun, I like the hearts, it makes me happy. And for here for anger, I have just black with lightning bolts. And the lightning bolts represents how I feel inside, especially with everything going on in the world and how people exclude and hard of hearing deaf and hard of hearing people in the world. We're excluded a lot. So to me that expresses anger. And for sadness, I put peace, please. because at the end of the day, we all want peace. So if you could just make a circle like this, and you could put whatever, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like you could put whatever you feel on each circle. You could put. See, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you feel. It could be a color, a symbol, words, anything. When I paint, I like to paint whatever I'm feeling inside because it helps me regulate my emotions. Since I don't know how to communicate, it helps me. It heals me in a way that, that if you can't communicate, I feel like painting and writing and drawing helps, with emotions and everything. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that art actually is very healing, and especially in the deaf community, I would like to represent that as for all of us to, to understand that we don't have to be left behind or anything like that. We can express ourselves with art because art is love and art is peace. Um, so with that being said, that's why I feel like when you use this, when you're feeling any type of way, it doesn't matter if you're happy, you're sad, you're angry, or scared. It doesn't matter, always create, always use, and try to use this so you can help yourself, with your feelings. Since if you can't express it, you don't know what's going on inside, just grab a piece of paper and just draw and write whatever it is and just get it out there, and you feel better.
Yes, I would like to add to that as well. It also shows that we always don't have just one emotion feeling that you feel in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a layer of various emotions that come up in a moment, different types of
Mm-hmm.
sadness mixed with anger. There's a lot of emotions that can overlap. It's never just, oh, I'm just happy. You can be happy and sad. Those two polar
Mm-hmm.
emotions can exist at the same time. You can be frustrated but feel content. So there's various emotions that overlap amongst themselves. So it's a very important way, and this is an important conversation to have. Sometimes people may ask, how do you feel? And you say, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel X, Y, and Z. So with the political climate, with social climate, and all these triggers that continue to show up in front of us, especially as we scroll on social media, even talking about your experience as a deaf and hard of hearing individual growing up, being a child,
Mm-hmm.
noticing all these barriers that you had to navigate in your life, and feeling that you had to find a place for yourself in the world because you realized the world that was created wasn't necessarily created for deaf and hard of hearing people. So that's a good way to frame it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people say, "Oh yeah, art is just art," but it's really nice how you framed it in a way that makes art healing. Some people like to journal instead of writing. Some people like to sign their journals. Some people like to present their work
Mm-hmm.
and emotions on a stage. So there's various ways of creating art to regulate your emotions.
Yes, when you're it's like there's no right or wrong way. It's just art helps you with so that you won't have things bottled up inside, so you could be able to express yourself. If you can't express yourself through communication, you could express yourself through art and drawing, and writing is it's the best way to help within, because if you don't have a type of how do we say this, a type of outlet, especially being deaf, our opportunities vary. We don't have as much opportunity as everybody else. So, with art, you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be something that becomes you, but it help you inside. It will help you feel better. And I just want people to, understand that, art is healing. Like, I feel like art is very important. I feel like we need art, especially in communities where we can't. It's so hard for us to communicate because, even with me, I can talk, but I can't hear really well. You know what I mean? So with me, like the best way that I communicate is through art. whatever is that you're feeling inside. Just create, create.
Naima here. Yeah, because sometimes as deaf people, we don't have the words that we
Mm,
want or need to express ourselves. Sometimes we just need to express. And even, for example, often the case is there is like language deprivation present in the deaf community. So, what if you don't
mhm,
want to write or you feel that writing is a difficult outlet? So, trying to find various outlets that don't limit yourself just to writing, you can actually create art. And art could be in so many different forms or fonts or mediums. There's different forms,
mhm.
art forms. You have clay, you have poetry, we
Yes.
have songs, you have rap,
Mhm.
hip hop, R&B. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Even paintings, it can go into collages, portraits, landscape. People even junk journal. But as long as it
Mhm.
fits you and you feel like it's best,
Yeah.
you feel like you can express yourself truly, there is no judgment. You are the critic that can make the last determination of what you create. So,
Mhm.
but at the same time, seeing something that you put time and effort in, you can say, hey, I created this.
Yeah. I just feel like art is the only like industry, only application that has no rules. Like nobody can tell you no or yes. This is how you feel inside, and you want to get, a message out there. That's why I create, and that's why I'm an artist that I am today because I want to get that message out there. That all we need is just love and understanding, and that's all. That's all we want is to be understood. And I feel like art is the only thing that feels like to me is understood.
I love that. And, if you would like to speak on any art projects or anything that you currently are involved in, because I know you have your emotion wheel, but maybe your artistic journey, your experience as an artist. Maybe I know you've done several art shows.
Yes, I had my first show in September. No, wait, August 2025. It was called Joy, My Name, in Hearing Land. Which the show I wanted to express, I wanted to show what it's like to be a deaf Latina in the world. 'Cause I feel like, especially where I live in Pennsylvania, there's not a lot, a lot of people where I'm at least. I don't have a lot of people that are, deaf or hard of hearing. It's like not a many of us, and many of us hide because when it comes to events like that, we don't have interpreters. People don't really understand, things like that. So I wanted to put myself out there and create a show to help deaf people, understand and hear, help deaf people come out, and also hearing people to come together so they could be aware because you know a lot of people are ignorant. So sometimes we do have to teach, we do have to put out there, in a different way, hey, look, I'm deaf, I'm hard of hearing, and I exist, and this is what I do. You know what I mean? I just wanted to bring, my show to bring awareness so that hearing people can understand that we're here, we exist, but there's some things that we need, like we need interpreter, we need captions, I wanted to make my voice heard for myself and also for everybody in the deaf and hard of hearing community because I don't feel like there's enough people, like us, and especially in the art industry. I feel like, it's still like not, you know what I mean? So I'm saying like, hey, I'm here, I'm talented, and this is what I do. And I want you to understand that we belong in this industry also, just like we belong everywhere else. We just have communication barriers. That's all. So that's what my show was mostly, about. I mean, I wish I could show you more, but I don't have it. Like I did a residency also. I when I did a residency, I wanted to show I also wanted to show that I belong here with different people. They were different different people. It wasn't like the same people. And I wanted to be like, hey, I hear and I belong at the table too. I can do this also. My voice, and I am here for everybody else to be heard, because that's what we want. We don't want to hide away. We want to be going to events also, like art events, whatever, different community events. It doesn't always have to involve deaf or hard of hearing people. We want to be involved with hearing people also. So that's my goal, is to make deaf and hearing people come together in the same room for everything. So right now I'm working and studying on, classical paintings, because I want to create a certain painting that is called La Diosa de Goddess. So it's a painting. I'm gonna show you. This painting right here. So this painting
Very
just
cool.
represents Puerto Rican culture, representing the goddesses. I wanted to um I'm creating classical painting that represents that, like, strong woman strength in that industry. I wanted to switch it all around, and I wanted to make it like, so right, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm studying and, making sure that I have my craft and everything, perfect, and hopefully have a show for that. So I'm very excited about that, because, I'm sure I'm here to show people I'm here to stay and I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm just as good as you too.
Yes, I love that. Breaking those barriers in the world of art, in the art industry, where has been more hearing tuned, more hearing based. But there's so many deaf and hard of hearing artists who are currently and have been making their ways for fighting for equality, representing their artistic journey, their professional journey.
Mm-hmm.
Those journeys are unique. So I love that you're doing that. Please, you can share your social media, and I will share your channel as well when you post. And if you have any more information on the artistic show, you can send it my way. I'll share it as well, because it's the identity, finding that sense of belongingness through works of art. Because I know that your journey, there may be someone or multiple people who feel just like you, who have felt disconnected from their world, from their community, or their identity. It's more identity affirming as they see your work and the type of work that you're creating as well. So it's really needed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for showing up tonight. Thank you for showing us the emotion wheel activity and how the community can benefit from that. And we look forward to seeing your art projects, your shows, and everything that you have in store going forward. Um, Very supported, and we look forward to seeing your journey.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you very much. Take care.
Bye.
Love, love, love. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah.